What is up, F and true followers and wrestling fans? I'm JC Styles here with the F brand of wrestling and entertainment here on YouTube.com with the Friday Night Smackdown review for February 8th, 2013. Smackdown just went off the air and pretty decent show. I mean, nothing really to say, oh my god, about. I particularly thought last week's episode of Impact was a lot better. I mean, that match between Del Rio and Ziggler was just great. And then, you had a couple other matches up there that were really great. But, I'm going to talk about this show. We see Big Show coming out of his tour bus as he's pulling into the back lot. He's kind of looking around to see if Alberto Del Rio is in the area, because he's afraid that he's going to get jumped again. He then gets in the ring, goes to the ring, and starts throwing his weight around, says that, Booker T is jealous, and Booker T keeps throwing his weight around and putting Big Show in these unprepared matches and just being a crybaby, and in my mind I'm saying just shut up, stop your bitching, and do some push-ups, you'll be alright, then Big Show starts taking some jabs at metaphorical jabs at Booker T. Booker T comes out and says, I'm not jealous, but I'm going to put you in a match tonight, and he announces that his opponent will be Kane later in the night. We then see a good match, a solid, great match between Cody Rhodes and Kofi Kingston. I have to let you guys know that I think, honestly, in my opinion, splitting Cody Rhodes and Damian Sandow up was probably the best thing. I know that they were a really good tag team, and WWE needs some good tag teams right now, but it doesn't do Cody Rhodes any justice being a part of the tag team. I think he's definitely better as a solo competitor. And Kofi Kingston had a really good showing in this match, but could not overcome the in-ring ability of Cody Rhodes, and Cody Rhodes picks up the win. This next match, I'm not going to even mention anything else other than Khali defeated Titus O'Neil. We then see them celebrating in the ring, and Mark Henry's music hits. After attacking Titus O'Neil, who was laying in the ring, Mark Henry pulled him out of the ring, threw him into the guardrail, then got in the ring and beat down on Great Khali. After he beat down on the Great Khali, he got on the mic and said that he should be in the Elimination Chamber match and that he's being overlooked, that he's one of the most dominant World Heavyweight Champions. And then he talks about how he demands that Booker T put him in the match. If not, he's going to start running through the entire SmackDown roster. Booker T comes out and says you got to earn your spot. If you want, I'll give you a match. You can earn your spot in the chamber match. And then Mark Henry says, I shouldn't have to earn it, but you better make room in this chamber match for me, because if not, I'll start injuring people I'll start injuring the SmackDown roster, so I'm the only one in it, and I'll go on to WrestleMania. Then we see him book the match between him and Booker T book Mark Henry and Randy Orton for later in the night, and if Mark Henry wins, he gets put into the Elimination Chamber. We then see Big Show quickly defeat Kane by the WMD. Then Alberto Del Rio showing up on the big screen. He is in the back lot, taking the wheels. I read this during the spoilers, and I still can't get over it. He took the Big Show's wheels off his tour bus and put it on cinder blocks. She straight NYC'd him. And for those of you that don't know, in NYC, when people's tires get jacked in New York City, they put them up on cinder blocks. That's what I mean by that. Then after Big Show comes out crying about why everything's happened to him, Alberto Del Rio dumps orange paint onto the Big Show, which made it just so much better. Then Del Rio says, if you need people, I know someone who has tires. If you need, give me a call, as he's sitting on the back of a road assistance truck driving off. I thought that was hysterical. We then see a really strong showing by Jack Swagger as he defeated Justin Gabriel. Since Jack Swagger's come back, he's just shown this dominant side, this mean streak, his focus and dedication. I think he's really going to, really going to do something big this time around. He was World Heavyweight Champion before, and he was running his mouth backstage, and a lot of the vets didn't like that. And the minute they got a chance to take the title off Swagger, they did. And then ever since has been all she wrote. And every time Swagger gets close to becoming a world champ, they knock him back down as punishment for being the way he was when he was World Heavyweight Champion. Then Tensai beat Drew McIntyre by disqualification when 3MB jumped in the ring and attacked Tensai. Then Brodus comes out, makes the save, and these two dance off, and it was just really awkward and weird. And yeah, it's just that's all I got to say about that. My boy, well, both my boys, I like these guys both equally, and they have a future in the WWE. I have to say, especially the United States Champion Antonio Cesaro has a promising future. When you have someone as like Vince McMahon backing you and saying that he sees great potential in you, and you're United States champion, and all you're doing, and you're coming out week in and week out, and you're dominating the way you are as United States champion, that's saying something. And a lot of people backstage, especially the creative team, are surprised at how well Antonio Cesaro is doing with such a small character that they gave him. Just phenomenal. You can't really speak ill of Antonio Cesaro because he's got the in-ring ability. He's an all-around natural wrestler. I mean, he's gone as far back as to using some of the most basic wrestling style holds in his matches, and that's what I really think gets me behind Antonio Cesaro. Is just that his drive and dedication to actually go back and research a lot of the old moves and incorporate them into some of his new into his style of wrestling. Just phenomenal. But Sin Cara as well, if if he could slow his game down just a little bit and get down on the right track, he could do a lot of big things. I think what it is that he's so overwhelmed when he gets in the ring and he wants to put on such a good show. He does make judgmental errors, and no one's perfect, and everyone's going to make mistakes. But Sin Cara again has what it takes to be a top contender as well, and I'm expecting big things out of him. You know, I don't get what everyone says. They call him Botchkara and everything like that, and I just don't see it. I just think that the guy is so amped up to go out there and deliver such a great show. He makes mistakes, and if you think you could do better, I would like to see you try because in the long run, myself and my broadcast partner, we drive on respecting the athletes no matter how good or how bad they are. And Sin Cara is a very talented wrestler. I just think he needs to slow down just a little bit when he's in the ring so that way he can nail the moves the way he's supposed to be nailing them and hitting these moves. But moving on, you see Mark Henry and Randy Orton in the main event, and these guys have had a really checkered past uh, over their decade in the business. You know, these guys have really bumped heads a lot over the last several years, especially when Orton was the world champ and Henry was world champ. These guys had some really good feuds. And Mark Henry wound up picking up the win over Randy Orton and earning a spot in the Elimination Chamber match. Now, my two picks for this match are, as much as I like Daniel Bryan and as much as I like um, Rey Mysterio, I honestly think this is going to, if Jack Swagger is put into the Elimination Chamber match, I think my two picks to win this match are Mark Henry and Jack Swagger. I never thought I'd be saying either of those two, but just since they've been back, they've really caught my eye, and I would really like to see what they can do. Mark Henry was probably one of the most dominant world heavyweight champions in the last 2 years that WWE has had, and I would like to see them put the belt back on Mark Henry because WWE really needs someone like that. So, guys, for the Afro brand of wrestling and entertainment here on YouTube.com, leave your comments in the comment box below. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. And with that being said, have a great weekend, and I'll catch you later.